The movie opens by showing a simple man named Michael. Michael is a farmer in a remote village whose life runs quite peacefully. After working all day in the fields, Michael always makes time to go to church. For him, it's a time to give thanks and pray, a kind of routine that calms his heart. At an age that is no longer young, Michael starts feeling lonely. All this time, Michael has lived alone for too long, and one afternoon, Michael prays to God to be brought together with his soulmate. Michael hopes there is someone who can accompany his life, someone who shares the same faith and can walk together in belief.
Some guidance. Maybe she has long legs.
A few days after that, Michael goes to the city with his friends to sell the harvest. It's something Michael usually does, nothing special, until something strange happens. While offering his crops, the wind suddenly blows very hard. In the middle of that gust, Michael feels like he hears someone's voice calling him. When Michael turns around, his eyes immediately land on a woman named Angel. Instantly, Michael feels a big sign pointing at him, as if what just happened was God's way of telling him that his soulmate is that woman. Out of curiosity, Michael asks his friend if he knows the woman who just passed by. His friend explains that Angel is a well-known woman of the night in that city. Hearing that, Michael is momentarily shocked. In his prayer, Michael had hoped his soulmate would be a woman with strong faith like himself. However, as a religious person, Michael believes that God's plans always have a reason. Michael then asks how he can talk to Angel. His friend says that Angel is an easy woman to meet. Angel is beautiful and her rate is high, something that is clearly beyond Michael's ability. The story then shifts to Angel's past. The audience is taken to understand why her life ended up on that path. Angel was born from a forbidden relationship. Her father was a nobleman, while her mother was just an ordinary commoner. Since birth, Angel's father has rejected her existence. Her father didn't want Angel in this world, and that rejection slowly turned into hatred. That hatred also made her father start hating Angel's mother. Angel grew up seeing it every day. Her father being harsh, her mother always getting beaten just for defending Angel's existence. From a young age, Angel realized that her father saw her as the source of problems. That feeling made her grow up believing that her birth only brought suffering to her mother.
Far too young and healthy for that.
But Mama,
I love you.
A few months later, Angel and her mother were kicked out of the house by her father. The deeply ingrained patriarchal culture left Angel's mother confused about what work she could do to survive. For days they lived without money and without jobs. Because she didn't want to see Angel starve, the mother finally had no choice but to sell herself. Even though Angel was still little, she could already feel how heavy her mother's life was. Angel knew her mother had to do things she didn't want to do just to provide for their needs. After a few days of holding on, her mother fell seriously ill. Angel tried to take care of and treat her mother, but it wasn't enough. The mother eventually passed away, leaving Angel all alone in the world.
be thy name. Mama.
Because she had no one, Angel was then taken in by a man who cared for her until she became a teenager. Unfortunately, this man turned out to be a bastard.
You'll drink when...
As Angel grew into adulthood, the man forced her to become a woman of the night. One day, unexpectedly, Angel met her father. Because they hadn't seen each other for a long time, her father didn't recognize Angel and instead hired her like a regular customer. After that, Angel immediately revealed her identity. Hearing this fact, Angel's father felt extremely guilty and couldn't bear the guilt. So he finally decided to commit suicide. After that incident, Angel's friend realized that staying in the city any longer was dangerous. As a nobleman's child, her father's death could bring Angel legal problems. Her friend then helped her escape from the city. However, because she had no job, Angel eventually went back to being a woman of the night and lived like that until now.
Said go away.
And everyone else around here?
The story then shifts to Michael. After saving for months, Michael finally managed to gather enough money to meet Angel. That night, Michael went to the brothel to hire Angel. When they got to the room, Angel was ready as usual. But Michael only wanted to talk, without touching her at all. Angel was momentarily surprised, but told Michael not to hold back, even if Michael had a wife. Michael immediately explained that he was still single and truly liked Angel, so he didn't want to play with her. Michael believed that lust only brings momentary happiness, while true love would give eternal happiness.
Come over here and get you.
I'm gonna marry you.
You're my 5th proposal this week.
I'm gonna give you a good life.
The time to hire Angel ran out, and Michael was kicked out. But Michael didn't give up. A few weeks later, Michael saved up again and met Angel once more. This time, Angel started noticing Michael. Throughout her life, Angel had always met bastard men, but Michael was different. Although initially suspicious, Angel still acted professionally and offered herself, but Michael refused. Michael declared his love and his intention to marry Angel. Of course, Angel refused. The rental time ran out again, and Angel firmly kicked Michael out. A few months later, after gathering enough money, Michael hired Angel again. That night, without small talk, Michael directly expressed his feelings. Michael said that he loved Angel and wanted to marry her, to live together in the village. Instead of responding to Michael's statement, Angel actually tried to seduce Michael, but Michael remained steadfast. His love was stronger than momentary lust. Angel, who was fed up, finally said that she could never accept Michael. For her, Michael was just a poor farmer. Michael finally came to his senses and gave up, even though his heart was still heavy. A few days later, Angel started getting really angry with her boss. Angel no longer wanted to work as a woman of the night.
Carry your donut? Yes, he's doing laundry. Mud, broke, and beaten bloody.
Her boss then sent someone to force Angel. Angel was brutally beaten. Her face was badly bruised and swollen, and her body was beaten mercilessly. The next day, Michael heard the news. Without thinking twice, Michael immediately rushed to visit Angel. When they met, Michael once again invited Angel to marry him and take her to live in the village. He promised he would make Angel happy. Angel, who was already very tired of her job, finally accepted Michael's invitation. Without waiting long, Michael took Angel to his house in the village. There, Michael took care of Angel's wounds with full attention. A few days later, Michael continued to treat Angel like a queen. Angel, seeing Michael's kindness, became curious and finally asked why Michael did all that. Michael answered simply. Michael loved Angel and felt that God had given a sign that Angel was the right woman for him. But Angel still didn't believe it. Angel felt she was unworthy, just a woman of the night, and could never get the love of a man as good as Michael. Michael then explained his reason. If we don't have a reason to love someone, we also won't have a reason to stop loving them. Day by day, Michael and Angel grew closer. They shared daily activities, from farming to cooking. Those times became the happiest for Angel after her life full of darkness. One morning, Michael invited Angel to go to a very beautiful place.
There, come on. We're here.
Angel was captivated by the view and felt so happy. However, Angel told Michael that she didn't deserve to receive happiness like that, because her past was full of sin and she felt unworthy of a man as good as Michael.
No, but you say that I'm your wife, but you... And
Michael smiled and replied, "Love doesn't demand perfection. Love always tries to understand, accept, and is willing to sacrifice." A few days later, Michael was visited by his brother, Paul. They hadn't seen each other for a long time, so the moment felt warm. Michael then told him that he now had a wife, and immediately introduced Paul to Angel. Paul's reaction was extremely shocked. It turned out Paul already knew Angel's background and didn't expect Michael to marry a woman he had always considered dirty like Angel. When they were alone with Angel, Paul started belittling her. Paul said Angel didn't deserve Michael, because according to him, Angel was just a sinful woman.
I'd like to rip him off. He deserves a decent girl, not... I mean, what'd you do to get your claws into him?
The next day, Angel was still thinking about Paul's words. Angel felt she really didn't deserve to be Michael's wife. However, Michael calmed her down. saying that everyone deserves a second chance in life. A few days later, Paul went to the city. An angel who felt Michael deserved a better woman decided to run away with Paul. The next day, Paul returned to Michael's house. Michael, of course, immediately asked where Angel went. Paul casually said that he had helped Angel escape, because according to him, Angel didn't deserve to be with Michael. Hearing that, Michael immediately got angry and kicked Paul out. Without thinking twice, Michael left for the city to look for Angel. When he arrived, Angel was shocked to see Michael willing to go through so much trouble to pick her up. Finally, Angel went back home with Michael. On the way, Angel asked why Michael was willing to go through so much trouble to pick her up. Angel felt Michael deserved a better woman. Michael then answered firmly that everything he did was because of love, and for Michael, love is felt, not thought about. A few days later, Michael saw a merchant with his family near his house. They were on their way to another area, but their vehicle was broken and the merchant's wife was sick. Kind-hearted Michael offered them to stay temporarily at his house. It turned out the merchant had a daughter around Angel's age, named Miriam. During the few days they stayed at Michael's house, Miriam and Angel became very close. Miriam was a good-hearted child of God and always acted sincerely. One morning, while farming together with Michael, Angel told him that Miriam was a very good woman. Angel even said that Miriam was more worthy of being Michael's partner than she was. But Michael firmly refused. The only woman he loved was Angel. A few days later, Angel once again felt that Michael actually deserved to be with Miriam more. Because she wanted Michael to be happy, Angel decided to run away from Michael again. Before leaving, Angel left a letter for Miriam. In that letter, Angel explained that she had to leave Michael for his own happiness. Angel wrote that Miriam should become Michael's partner because she thought they were very compatible. After reading the letter, Miriam immediately met Michael and suggested that Michael chase after Angel. Michael, who had always tried so hard to get Angel, finally gave up. Michael felt that maybe Angel really needed freedom. Michael also believed that sometimes God's way of teaching the meaning of sincerity is by letting go of someone you love very much. A few months after Angel left, Michael still couldn't move on. His brother, Paul, who felt sorry seeing Michael's condition, decided to search for Angel. Sometime later, Paul finally found Angel. Paul, who used to often belittle Angel, now apologized for judging Angel wrongly. He also begged Angel to return to Michael because he knew they still loved each other. However, Angel remained stubborn, feeling Michael deserved to be with Miriam. Paul then explained that he had now married Miriam. Hearing that, Michael clearly didn't feel any better. He kept thinking about Angel, because in his heart, Angel was the only woman who made him willing to sacrifice so much. Finally, Angel decided to go back and meet Michael. When they met, Angel apologized for everything she had done and admitted that she loved Michael very much. After that, Michael and Angel lived happily together. A few months later, they were blessed with a child, marking a new chapter full of happiness in their lives.